So this one is from the New York Times, often called the newspaper of record. So a recent story, they say, quote, "No, chemtrails aren't real or causing floods," says the Environmental Protection Agency. So what's your view on that? We're moving from hurricanes now over to chemtrails and flooding.
Well, let's break that down, starting with semantics and the term chemtrails, which isn't a science term, so therefore it doesn't exist. I mean, are they playing a game of semantics? Say geoengineering or climate engineering or solar radiation management or stratospheric aerosol injection isn't causing this. They mention the term that's the instant, by design, marginalization term. Anybody who searches that term finds conspiracy theory and hoax. We're playing chess. We need to learn how to play well. So we'll start with the science terms. And again, for them to make a statement with virtually nothing to back it up except they say so, or some power structure paid so-called academics say so with no proof to back it up. In the case of the Texas flooding, we recorded the frequency transmission network, the NextRad network, which we're told are harmless, benign radar monitoring facilities that couldn't be further from the truth. This is patented technology. Frequency transmissions manipulate weather masses, period. They have a repelling effect, period. So what we saw in Texas, Mary, was an energizing of the transmitters completely surrounding that region of Texas, which, again, picture the repelling effect of all those transmissions. It kept that storm in one place. So it precipitated out in one location. That's the core cause of that event, aside from other factors that contributed to the moisture carrying capacity of that storm. But it's important for people to consider in that regard. The atmosphere can carry 7% more moisture for every degree C of warming. Based on unfiltered frontline data, we are likely past 3.5 now.
Slow that down. Say that again with the humidity. Repeat that more slowly so we can get it.
This is the laws of physics.
Yeah.
Hard science. Atmosphere can carry 7% more moisture for every degree C of warming. So we must have more overall precipitation on a warming planet. But in fact, in spite of the 1,000-year floods, and once in a 1,000-year floods, in fact, and Texas was one, we've had about 18 of those this season alone. 18 once in a 1,000-year floods. I wonder what's wrong. But between that, we have once in a 1,000-year droughts everywhere. So climate engineering, again, completely disrupting the hydrological cycle, drought deluge scenarios, extremes in both directions. But in the case of Texas, again, same with Harvey, same with Helene, frequency transmissions steered and corralled that moisture in specific regions, causing the deluges.
Global climate engineering programs carry countless agendas. Are cyclones being manipulated as a desperate measure to cool down specific regions of the country and of the world? This Collier's magazine cover is from 1954. At the time of its printing, the U.S. military's hurricane modification programs, Project Cirrus, had already been deployed for nearly a decade. Many question how climate engineers could possibly steer massively powerful cyclones with the use of jet-sprayed atmospheric aerosols and very powerful radio frequency microwave transmissions. It can and is being done. Though this diagram illustrates the basics, it doesn't even begin to come close to the true power and resource behind the climate engineering insanity. How much power are weather modification microwave towers actually able to put out? The publicized figure is 700,000 watts. These are for the towers that are scattered all over the country and all over the world. That's 1,400 times more than was disclosed by the live science diagram just shown. How much air power does the U.S. military have to fill the skies with sprayed aerosol particulates for climate modification? More than can be truly imagined. When all types of military tankers are included, the fleet numbers are in the thousands. A careful examination of this animation reveals extreme levels of radio frequency microwave transmissions being blasted out from a Key West, Florida transmission facility, even as the eye of Irma passes over. The Key West transmissions are clearly impacting the southern end of Irma's circulation in this animation capture, and the full power transmissions of at least 700,000 watts somehow continued on Key West, even though there was extensive power outages in the region. Hurricane Irma followed the most destructive possible path along the Cuban coast before making an anomalous northerly turn straight into Florida, just as predicted almost 7 days earlier, even while Irma was thousands of miles out to sea. Hurricane Irma's track was almost exactly what the weather forecasters said it would be. Again, almost a week in advance. Where are these hurricane forecasts being issued from? The same private defense industry contractors that are neck deep in orchestrating the ongoing climate engineering operations, companies like Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. Hurricane Harvey's track was also forecasted with perplexing accuracy nearly a week in advance. They somehow knew where Harvey would go and how long it would stay. The case was the same with Hurricane Sandy in 2012. Even the unprecedented 90-degree turn Sandy made heading straight west was foreseen again nearly a week before it happened. As Irma approached, the Key West transmissions were fully powered up and used to slow the forward progress of the cyclone. The transmissions also scattered much of Irma's moisture from progressing further into the Gulf of Mexico. By Sunday, September 10th, this transmission facility near Charleston, South Carolina, helped to funnel Irma's waves of precipitation in the desired direction of the geoengineers. Irma's northward progression up the eastern coast of Florida was further hampered by this microwave frequency transmission facility near Tampa Bay, Florida. Why are Earth's climate systems being completely manipulated? As I've stated so many times in the past, there's many agendas being carried out by the ongoing climate intervention programs. We can say this with certainty. The desperate effort to temporarily cool some of the most population-dense regions of the U.S. and the world is one of the primary objectives. The NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration forecast map below, which amounts to the scheduled weather from geoengineering contractor Raytheon, who does all the weather modeling for National Weather Service and NOAA, was done on September 1st. This map reflects historically unprecedented temperature imbalances. The cool down zone in the eastern U.S. has been accomplished with the extreme moisture produced by Hurricanes Harvey, Katia, and Irma. And this moisture is seeded with patented chemical ice nucleating elements which produce a profound surface cool down. Cold, dense air descends and ends up on the surface. That's what's happening. In the meantime, the western U.S. continues to bake in record temperatures with record forest fires. Record highs in one half of the country, record lows in the other. After the moisture from Hurricane Harvey was utilized to help facilitate an eastern U.S. engineered cool down, yet again, Hurricane Katia was used as an atmospheric moisture pump. The massive stream of Gulf moisture from Katia, shown in this animation, was pushed north before it was rotated around a low-pressure zone back down into the eastern U.S. As Hurricane Katia's moisture dwindled, Hurricane Irma took over as an engine of moisture production to serve the climate engineers and their objectives. Upper-level wind currents can and are being manipulated by the geoengineers with the use of the network of global ionosphere heater facilities like HARP. In this image, an extremely strong upper-level current can be seen off the eastern U.S. and extending to western Europe, where some of Irma's abundant moisture is delivered to facilitate climate engineering objectives there. The desperate and unimaginably destructive attempt to cool various regions of our rapidly warming planet is one of the objectives of the climate engineers. On this global departure from average temperature map, the latest geoengineered cool-down zones already discussed and outlined are not difficult to spot. The eastern half of the U.S. and western Europe. As Hurricane Irma migrates inland, the extensive grid of radio frequency microwave transmission facilities are ramping up their power and output in order to scatter and disperse Irma's moisture over the widest possible region. What are the scheduled temperatures for the U.S. once the current atmospheric moisture supply runs its course? Weather whiplash will set in as the eastern U.S. again heats up, and the western U.S. is temporarily and toxically cooled off with incoming Pacific moisture and patented chemical ice nucleation for weather modification processes. Welcome to geoengineered weather whiplash. This up-close look at the microwave frequency transmissions from a NexRad site near Knoxville, Tennessee, reveals just how profoundly these transmissions affect migrating precipitation. This image was recorded on the morning of September 11, 2017, as Irma and her abundant moisture tried to migrate inland. The highly toxic jet-sprayed climate engineering aerosols are not the only grave danger posed by the ongoing climate engineering insanity. The extremely powerful climate intervention microwave transmissions are also unquantifiably destructive to the biosphere and the entire web of life. Enter Hurricane Jose. How anomalous does the path of this powerful hurricane look? Given the unimaginably accurate path predictions for Hurricanes Sandy, Harvey, and Irma, what went wrong with the predictions for Jose? Or should we keep in mind that the scheduled weather from the geoengineers is always subject to change? This final radar animation clearly reveals Jose's blossoming strength and moisture potential. Will Jose now take over where Irma, Katia, and Harvey left off? We'll soon enough find out. Climate engineering is decimating Earth's life support systems, exposing and stopping geoengineering, which is weather warfare and biological warfare, should be, must be our top priority. Investigate the facts, share credible data with others, do your part in the essential effort to help us reach a critical mass of awareness on this most dire issue. Make your voice heard while it still matters. This is Dane Wigington with geoengineeringwatch.org.